Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Franchise Hockey Manager 8 with the Buffalo Sabres. I believe this is episode 21, and this is my third time trying to record this video. The last two times got interrupted with some stuff that required my attention. I'm just going to give myself a little bit of time here and just get it done. So we are at Saturday, November 1st, 2025, and we are 11-5 out of the gate. And again, I apologize for the audio. I am still waiting on my new mic to show up. From everything I've seen, it looks like it's going to be about a week to 10 days or so before it gets here. So I will be recording with the crappy computer mic until then. So it is what it is. At any rate, we are 11-5 out of the gate. Tied for first place with the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have a game in hand, though. Our offense has been fantastic. Our defense has been awful. I'll show you those numbers here in a minute. But Jack Eichel leads the NHL in scoring. 30 points in 16 games. He's averaging a goal a game right now. He's got 30 points in 16 games. You can see Rasmus Dahlin off to a hot start with 16 points in his first 16 games. So offensively, things look good for us. If you look at our team stats, we are averaging almost, or over rather, 4.5 goals a game, 4.56 goals a game. There are 5 teams averaging more than 4 a game. So we are in the 1980s again, it seems, as 5 teams with over 4 goals a game. We are 25th, however, in goals against at 3.56. So offensively, we're great. Defensively, we're terrible. We have by far the most takeaways and by far the most giveaways, which is the way we just play hockey. We are an up and down team, and so it has been an interesting start to the season so far. I haven't looked at any of this. So our power play, 34.6% on the man advantage. And the PK, we are middle of the pack, number 14. All right. So we look at the team stats through 16. The numbers really stand out. It's Jack Eichel, 30 points in 16 games. Matthew Savoy was the number 1 overall pick in 2022 by Seattle. And for some reason, the Kraken decided not to re-sign him. So we jumped all over that, and all he's done this year is put up 18 points in his first 16 games this year. Jack Quinn averaging a point a game. Alex Tuck averaging a point a game. Rasmus Dahlin a point a game. Jacob Vrana's got 14 points in 19 games. Cousins with 10. Firsthoff with 10. Klingberg with 10. Danielson, another rookie. He's got 9 and 11. Kisakov with 9. Nemestikov with 9. Chychrun with 9. Just up and down the list offensively, we have just been an absolute truck. Our second line has not played particularly well, so I made them the third line. Middlestat, Shaw, Poltapov is now our third line. And our third line, which was Tuck, Nemestikov, and Savoy, they're now our second line. So flipped it around a little bit as the second line had been playing the third line had been playing much better, so we moved them up. So we got Dylan Cousins is injured right now. He's out for a couple of weeks. And that's kind of where we are. Goaltender-wise, it hasn't been great. I mean, Portillo's playing pretty well. I mean, Luukkonen got off to a slow start last year as well, so I'm hoping that's just all it is. But a 3.6 goals against and an 893 save percentage. Portillo in his rookie campaign 5-1, 297 and a 905 so far. Depth charts. Ivanov is getting the start down in Rochester. He's now 2-star, 4-star. Not going all that great so far, but hopefully it's just the start of something for him. Our top 6 defensemen, Chychrun, Dahlin, Klingberg, Power, Anderson. I got to get Cameron Allen some playing time. Matthias Samuelson's way down here, but I like the defensive ratings. Clefbaum is in Rochester right now, along with Ryan Johnson. So we've got some depth in Rochester defensively if we need it. We don't have a ton of depth on the forward side. We've got Emil Harvinty and Adam Yeko, who's in Rochester right now. He's going to get really annoyed being down there as he's at 12 and 13 games right now, 12 points in 13 games right now, but we just don't have any room for him. Our lineup is stacked, so we just don't have any room for him. Haven't looked at upcoming free agents. Tuck will likely walk. Kisakov, I don't know. I mean, these guys might walk. Clefbaum is gone. Anderson, we might try to bring back, depending on what he is. We'll see if that demand comes down at all. But the big one, obviously, is the big ones, I guess, are Cousins and Eichel. Cousins wants Cousins. That's a reasonable contract, especially for a 24-year-old. So let's see if we can get this done. So let's bring this down to 4.7. Let's bump it up a 4.8. If I can get him for 5, yeah, we're right there. So, I'm fine. 3 years, $4.9 million for Dylan Cousins. That works for me. Eichel wants almost $11 million for 5 years. I don't know that I can afford that, especially with his injury history. Missed a bunch of games in 22-23, missed most of the season last year. I mean, I guess it hasn't been terrible. 21-22 he was fine. 22-20 or 23-24 he was fine, and he's been healthy so far this year. So I don't know. I mean, maybe we bring him back, maybe we don't. I don't really know as of yet. But he's really the only one we have left that we have to worry about. So we got a ton of offensive talent on our roster right now. I'll leave McGing up for now. Yeah, we just got a lot of talent. We got a lot of talent on both sides of the puck, both offensively, defensively, and in goal. So, just let it continue to develop and see how it goes. I think that's all we need to do. Let's check scouting real quick. Make sure that our scouting is where it should be. It is. Our monthly finances are fine. We're gonna have more points next year or next month. Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna sim some games here. I don't know how long I'm gonna go. We'll go probably a month, maybe a month and a half. So first game is a 5-1 win. So Vrana with 2 goals, Savoy 2 assists, Poltapov a goal and an assist. Tuck had a couple of assists. Portillo stops 26 out of 27. So 12-5 now. Yeah, and I don't know. I guess you guys are gonna have to tell me what you want out of this series, because the way I generally do these things is I play them until I win, and then I move on to another team and I try another rebuild. This is really the first time that I've continued on with the team, as Dylan Cousins signs the contract. Fantastic. This is really the first time I've continued on with the team after winning it all. So do you guys want me to just continue with the Sabres here as we win 4-0? Just continue with the Sabres as far as we can and win as much as possible? Or would you prefer me to take over one of the worst teams in the league? Kind of like I do. I don't know how many of you watch my Out of the Park stuff, but pick up the worst team in the league starting next season and try to rebuild them? Or do we start over with a new team? Or do we do something historical? What would you guys like to see? Or do you want me to just stick with the Sabres? I mean, either way, it's fine with me. So Luukkonen, 35 saves, Shaw a goal and 2 assists. Chychrun had a goal and an assist. Cool. So yeah, you guys tell me what you want to do, and I'll do it. I love the game, so whether I'm playing a historical game or whether I'm playing a current game, or one thing I've never actually tried is a fictional series in Franchise Hockey Manager. I've done a ton of fictional stuff in check our roster, make sure no one's Cousins isn't back yet. I've done a ton of fictional games in Out of the Park baseball. I haven't done anybody here? Samskovich? Ooh. 15, 14, 15, 12. No. Nope. We'll keep going. I've done a ton of fictional games in Out of the Park baseball. I've never done a fictional series or a fictional game in Franchise Hockey Managers. We dropped that one 3-1. We'll keep simming here. So I think maybe we sim a couple of weeks and then I'll do a couple of weeks offline. and we'll get to the end of the month and we'll look at team stats and league stats, and then we'll do the same thing in December, and maybe we'll end this episode on January 1st. I think that might be what we do. That might be the way this works out. So we'll sim where? We'll look at our schedule. So maybe we sim through this game here at Detroit, and then I'll play the rest of these games offline. We'll come back in December. I'll do through the 19th, and then I'll sim the rest of the month offline, and then we'll call it an episode. So just so you guys can kind of get some day-by-day stuff, and we can talk about the team. I mean, not that there's a whole lot we need to change. We're 13-6, by far the best record or best offense in the NHL. Defensively, we're struggling a bit, but the talent's there as we win that one 6-2. Look at that. We have 3 of the top 8 in assists in the NHL. So Shaw with 3 assists, Poltapov with 2, Tuck with 2, Eichel, Quinn, Vrana in the first. Middlestat scores his first of the year in the second. Eichel, and then Middlestat again in the third. Portillo stops 32 out of 34. Cousins should be back soonish. Get him back in the lineup as soon as we can. So yeah, you guys tell me how you want me to sort of play this going forward. I mean, I'm content just continuing on with the Sabres and seeing how far we can go with it. But I'm also content starting over with a new team, starting over in this world with a new team. Like the Capitals right now, 3-11-2. If they end up with the worst record in the NHL, do we take over the Washington Capitals and try to rebuild them? Or do we start over with, like, I don't know, the Arizona Coyotes and try to build them? I don't know. All right, he's not ready to play. 14-6-0 so far, so good start to the season. 15-6-0 it's a 5-3 win. Quinn with 3 assists. Klingberg with a couple. Klingberg with his first 2 goals of the year. Eichel scores his 19th. Klingberg, Tuck, and Shaw in the third. Another good game for Portillo, stopping 34 out of 37. And Nemestikov is hurt. Oh, snap. Okay. And he's out for 2 to 3 weeks. So I think what we're going to do here, because it's a substantial injury, we will go with Yeko. Get him up to the team. Go back to Buffalo. Place him with Yeko. Put him on the injured list, and then we have to reset the lines because I don't want him as my second line center. So, like that. Can Poltapov play the left? He can. All right, so we'll do that. I don't need 2 playmakers, though. Counter-attacking forward. All right, so Tuck, Middlestat, Savoy is now our second line. Poltapov, Shaw, Yeko is our third line. That is fine. Let's get through our next game. I think this is the last game. This game on the 13th will be the last game before I start to sim offline, so to speak. Mason Lowry on waivers. No. Taylor Radish. Nope. Riley Sheehan. Nope. All right, let's get to the next game. I am recording, right? I am. Aaron Ekblad out for 4 games. Artemi Panarin, 900 career points. No trades or anything yet. All right, let's end this game against Detroit, and then I will start to sim a little bit. Get some sim time in under our belt here offline. We lose 3-1. Okay, so 15-7-0 through our first 22 games. Larkin for them, Danielson for us, Gunler, and Ryan Donato. Donato from Kane and Gunler. That's a line. Okay. Luukkonen subs 29 out of 31. Wow. Garand 48 out of 49. Wow. Okay. All right. So I'm going to be back on December 1st. We'll sim the first couple of weeks of December. I will sim the second half of December offline, and we will go from there. I'll be right back. All right. We are back. It is December 1st. You can see we are 20-9. We get Max Nemestikov back. Development report. A lot of names that are on the big league roster. Matthew Savoy, Jack Quinn, Owen Power, Portillo, Poltapov, Yeko, and first off, Marcus Lindgren, who's an 18-year-old. Where did we draft him? We drafted him in 2025, this past year. Wow, he was our first-round pick this past year. And he looks pretty damn good for an 18-year-old. 15 offense. Wow. Harvin T looks like he's getting better. He'll be depth forward next year. Top selling jerseys, McDavid and Draisaitl, 1-2. Dylan Cousins, number 3. Mika Zibanejad and Rodriguez are your players of the month. If you look at our schedule, since we walked away, we lost that game on the 13th, and then it was win, lose, and then 4 straight wins. So we lost 2 out of 3, and then won 4 straight down the stretch, which puts us 20-9, 3 games clear, or 3 points clear, I should say, of the Toronto Maple Leafs. They have a game in hand, though. Eric Portillo in the top 8 in both goals against and save percentage, having a really nice rookie campaign for us. Jack Eichel, 3rd now in the NHL in scoring, 45 points in 29 games. Does lead the NHL in goals, though, tied with Cone Zimmer, a 20-year-old in the Rangers organization. Wow. All right. So let's look at the league stats real quick. The Oilers are 24-4-2. So we got goals, assists, and points. Mika Zibanejad leads the NHL in points. Nathan McKinnon in shots. Nicholas Bowden leads in plus-minus. Ivan Morozov with 3 shorties. Eichel, 13 power play goals. Trent Frederick leads the NHL in penalty minutes. Nate Schmidt in block shots. And Atu Ratti in face-off percentage. Goaltending leaders. Rodriguez, 21 wins. Carter Hart, 13 losses. Spencer Knight, 4 ties. Braden Holt has a 1.83 in 9 games for the Knights. Brennan, I'm looking for a goalie who's played a bunch of games. There you go. Rodriguez, 26 games, 21-2. Justice Noonan with 5 shutouts already for the Oilers. Holt with a for the Avs rather. Holt with a 943 save percentage, and David Tendek is facing a lot of rubber this year. For the Sabres, we talked about Eichel already, 45 points in 29 games. Jacob Brana continues to play really, really well for us, 28 points in 22 games. Savoy's at 27, so only 2 players averaging more than a point a game now. Offenses slowed down a little bit, but we're still best offense in the NHL. Tuck, 26 and 29, Quinn, 24, Dahlin, 21, Shaw, 19, Poltapov. Anybody underperforming? Nemestikov, maybe 12 points in 22 games, but he's not really an offensive, that's not his game, right? He's a two-way forward. So, and he's only 21. So, I mean, he still has growth time, but yeah, he'll be a two-way style forward. Anderson has been okay. Owen Power. This has not been a great start to the season for Owen Power, a 58 game rating. Matthias Samuelsson, a 58 game rating as well. We got Cameron Allen some playing time. He's played 7 games, picked up 3 points, put Anderson on the bench. Danielson, is he still suspended? He's not. Okay, we can get him back out there now. For who, though? Who is going to sit? Kisakov, maybe? Who is going to sit? That's the question. Yeko's got 5 points in 8 games. 19 penalty minutes. He's a bruiser out there. Not very good defensively, but Danielson had 12 in 17. I think maybe we run with this for a little bit. Let's let Danielson sit on the bench for a little while and see how Yeko does. And then goaltending stats. That's not where I wanted to go. Luukkonen 10-7-0 with a 3.17. So that goals against starting to come down. 907 save percentage, and Portillo has been great. 10-2 with a 2.57 and a 9.25. So let's continue forward and take on one of the New York teams here as we try to run through December. Another good season for us, or at least so far. And trade deadline, what do we need? Do we need anything, really? I don't know that we need anything. We'll keep an eye and we'll see what's available. But we don't need anything. We win 3-1. Oh, no, McDavid out for 5 months with a fractured hip. Poltapov is out. Is he out, or is he just sort of out? So Dahlin a goal and an assist. Eichel picks up a goal. Shaw with the other goal for us. And Portillo gets the start. Well, that problem fixed itself. So Poltapov will sit and Danielson will come in. Go to the lines. And we will put Yeko on that line with Shaw and Middlestat. Put Danielson in the middle. Can Danielson... Yeah, we'll do that. And Kisakov... It's fine. Yeah. All right. So we win 3-1. Let's move on to the next game. 21-9. Eichel second in the NHL in scoring. Portillo having himself a rookie campaign. Let's see if the game decides to... If he puts up those numbers throughout the course of the year, you would think that the game would put him in there as one of the rookie of the years. But I'm not really sure how the AI works for that, because the award nominees always seem to be a little backwards. So, I don't know. Evgeny Malkin placed on waivers by St. Louis. 16 games for the now 39-year-old Malkin, and he doesn't have a single point in those 16 games. It looks like the end of the line for Evgeny Malkin. No, don't need any of those players. Let's go to the next game. Next day here against Pittsburgh. The Penguins, Malkin's former club. Ooh, that's a tough one. 7-1 loss. Who started in this one? Looks like Luukkonen. Yeah, Luukkonen played 48 minutes before the game pulled him. Our only goal scored by Eichel. Okay, well, you can't win them all. Can't win them all. Those are the tough ones. But you forget about them, right? The Bruins lost to the to the Hurricanes 7-1 the other day. They said you just got to move on. So that's what we're doing. We are moving on. Kirk Muller is fired by the Flames. Martin Jelena brought in to replace him. Game here against the Wild. Team we're playing in our other universe, in our City of Champions playthrough. So we win that one 3-2. Goal and an assist from Vrana. Goal and an assist from Cousins. We scored 3 in the first. Cousins, Tuck, and Vrana. And then in the second, we get a goal, or they get a goal from Kiprasov, but we hold them off. And 25 out of 27 stopped by Portillo. No overtime losses yet. We are winning or losing in regulation. Oilers continue to play well even without McDavid, 27-5. Playing in the Mile High City tomorrow against the 20-12 Colorado Avalanche. Poltapov back soon. Should be safe to dress him. Do we want to dress him? How's he been? 17 points in 30 games. 69 game rating. Danielson has got a 61 game rating. Yeah, we will go back to Poltapov. I think one of these guys, yeah, Kisakov can play center, so we go back to that. At Colorado, let's see how this one goes. We just beat the number 1 team in that division. Can we beat the number 2 team? We can. We win 4-1. No notes for us there. 2 assists for Chychrun, a goal and an assist from Eichel. Poltapov, we put Poltapov back in the lineup. He scores 2 goals. Eichel, Tuck, Poltapov in the second, and then Poltapov in the third. Luukkonen gets the start, plays really, really well. And we keep on winning. So still have a game in hand on Toronto, and they're only 2 points behind us. So we need to keep winning, or they need to lose a game here or there so that we can even that up a little bit. Right now it does, however, look like a 2-team race in the Atlantic between us and the Leafs. None of the other teams in the East playing particularly well right now. In the Metropolitan, the Rangers, 22-8-3, with the Canes behind them. Looks like a pretty balanced Central, with the Wild, the Avs, and the Blackhawks all within a couple of points of each other. And then the Oilers are the head and shoulders best team out west. Nashville looking to move Ryan Johansson. Okay. You can do that. Game against the Hurricanes. At Carolina. So at Colorado, then at Carolina, and we win 3-0. Eichel 2 assists, Dahlin a goal and an assist, Vrana with a goal. Samuelsson scores his first goal of the year. Shutout for Portillo. Let's get through. I think I said I was going to go through the 17th. Game here at home now against Columbus. Let's end this day. 24-10-0. And we lose. We lose 4-1. Not good. Not good. I mean, it happens, right? You're not going to win every game. Eichel picks up his 29th. Portillo stops 27 of 31. Yeah, I was going to go through the 27th. So let's do this game on the 27th, and then I will sim through the end of December. Again, we'll take a look at the team stats, the league stats, and we'll call it an episode. And the next episode will take us through the trade deadline, probably all the way through February into March. All right, so let's end this day. See if we can avoid the 2-game losing streak. We do. A 5-0 shutout. Very nice. Luukkonen, 34 saves. Dahlin, 2 assists. Nemestikov, 2 assists. Savoy, Poltapov, Tuck, Cousins, and Vrana, each with goals. And Luukkonen gets the shutout. Awesome. All right, so I am going to sim ahead now to January 1st. I'll come back. We will review everything. Look at that. Outshot them 17-2 in the third period. And we will call it an episode. So I will be back in right now. It is January 1st, 2026, and your Sabres are 29-13-0. A bit of a hot streak towards the end of the month. We lost the last 2 games of the month, but we had won like 4 or 5 in a row prior to that. We are 6 points up on the Maple Leafs. They have a game in hand, but it was a good stretch for us there to kind of put a little bit of separation between us and the number 2 team. Just from a quick, we'll look at all the stats here in a minute, but you can see Eichel third in the league in scoring with 60 points in 42 games, including 31 goals in 42 games, an NHL best 31 goals. On the other side, Eric Portillo having just a fantastic rookie campaign, 15-3 with a 2.25 goals against and a 929 save percentage. Yeah, so we're in first place. Rangers, Avs, and the Oilers. So if we'll look at the league. We'll look at the league stats first. So Zibanejad still leads the league in scoring. Brock Besser, then Eichel, McKinnon, Jack Hughes, Panarin, Marner, Kaprizov, etc., etc. Sebastian Aho leads in shots. Brandon Carlo, now of the Blackhawks, is a plus 32. Jack Quinn leads the NHL in shorthanded goals with 4. Eichel's got 14 power play goals. Tom Wilson, not to be denied by Trent Frederick, now leads the NHL in penalty minutes. Schmidt still leads in plus minus, or in shots blocked. And Connor Bedard, 20-year-old Connor Bedard, leads the NHL in faceoff percentage. Goaltending leaders: Rodriguez with 30 wins, Dredger with 18 losses, Carter Hart, 119 goals against. Holt still leads in save percentage, but he's only played, or in goals against, but he's only played 11 games. Portillo is second. Rodriguez played 38 games and is fourth. Hellebuck looks like he's played, wow, a 930 save percentage for now 32-year-old Connor Hellebuck. 5 shutouts for Noonan. Holt leads in save percentage. A 38-year-old Carey Price is second in the NHL in save percentage with a 931. Portillo is fourth. More leaders. Barkov with the best game rating. Matthews best offensive. Shea Theodore with the best defensive rating. Zemer leads in points, 28 goals, 11 assists. Savoy is second with 37. Game-winning goals, Eichel leads with 6. Trent Frederick with 2 fights. Torrey Krug with 2 fights for the Philadelphia Flyers, now Edmonton Oilers. Adam Earn with 142 hits. Dahlin with 46 takeaways. Tuck with 46 giveaways. Okay. Let's go to the Sabres. So again, Eichel, 60 points in 42 games, really just putting the team on his back here has been just unbelievable. Jacob Vrana hit the 20-goal mark again. Had 50 goals last year. He's going to come up short of that number this year, but 39 points in 35 games. He's been really good. Tuck continues to play well in what's likely his last season in Buffalo. 76 game rating, 37 points in 42 games. Really good rookie campaign for Matthew Savoy. 37 points in 42 games. Rasmus Dahlin having his best offensive campaign, I think, really since our first season, right? Right here. Yeah, he had 56 points. He's got 17 and 42. So I guess maybe he isn't. I guess he's really just sort of on pace to have 40-ish points, which would be better than most of his seasons. But and his game rating still in that high 60s. So that's, I guess, what he is at this point. Quinn having a surprisingly good season. I mean, not that he's a bad player, but 27 points in 42 games. Mason Shaw, his point total is down this year, but he's still playing pretty well. Poltapov having a nice rookie campaign, 14 goals in 40 games. Dylan Cousins at 23 and 29. He's back to not scoring, only 3 goals this season. He had that 5-goal campaign 2 years ago, but 18, 23, and 19 the other 3 seasons. So I expect him to be in double digits by the end of the season. Klingberg, he's on the trade block. We have him for 1 more year after this one. You can see his ratings are starting to drop, but yeah, defensively he's not very good anymore. So we may need to hide him if we can't trade him this year. We may need to hide him defensively next year. Nemestikov, 20 points in 35 games, a 66 game rating. Middlestad's out with a minor injury right now. He's only got 20 points. It's a disappointing season for Casey, especially after the years he's put up here in the past. 47 and 82, 45 and 82, 66 last year. Only 15 in 42 games right now. So, a bit of a disappointing year for Middlestat. Chychrun has been, I think, okay. He's a team leading plus, or I guess second on the team in plus minus. Only 2 goals. But again, I want him more there for his defense and his physicality, and he's been fine there. Kisakov having a down season compared to last year. We may need to stick Firstov in there for him for a little bit, give him some playing time. Danielson, 12 points in 19 games. Owen Power, a 2-way defenseman, still looking for goal number 1 this year. Only a 60 game rating. Not great, but the ratings are coming along. Yeko, 7 points in 21 games. Anderson hasn't played since we last updated. Samuelson, a 59 game rating, which is the worst on the team, so maybe we give Anderson a shot here over Samuelson. Allen with 4 points in 20 games, looking for his first goal. It's a pretty offensively minded defenseman to not score a goal. Goalie stats, we talked about Portillo already, 15 and 3 with a 2.25. Luukkonen not playing well this year. 3.23 goals against, 907 save percentage. We have him for 2 more years after this one, which actually should be perfect. That should be right around the time that Ivanov is ready. So 2 years from now, we get Ivanov up there to replace Luukkonen. Anybody down here of interest? Harvey has got 20 points in 47 games. Ryan Johnson, 24 and 44, so good depth defenseman there. I think that's it. If we go back to the depth chart, I am recording. Depth chart. Yeah, all these guys are. Yeah, we got to bring Lindgren in next year. 2.5 star, 3 star, already 15 offensively. Will Smith, he might be ready next year too. I'd like to see that defense come up a little bit. Yeah, a lot of young players. This is the guy we drafted because of his name. Aliu Moldal Ball. Hopefully he can develop into something. Yeah, we don't have a second and third this year. So we'll see what we can do in the draft. But yeah, I mean, next episode I think we'll go up through the end of February, and that'll give us time to kind of look through the trade block and see if there's anything we need. I don't really know that there is, given the makeup of our roster. We're right at the cap. We're set defensively. Chychrun, Dahlin, Allen, Klingberg, Power, and then Anderson and Samuelson with Johnson in Rochester. And our forward lines are just stacked. I mean, we're benching 3-star players because we have better options. So, we'll see what's available. Maybe there will be a, Artemi Panarin type, or maybe there will be an elite defensive forward that we can pick up and we can trade from some of our depth. I don't know. I don't think there's going to be anybody there yet. Yeah, nobody of note. But maybe we can find a defensive forward that's like a 16 or 17 defensively. I don't even know if that player exists. Right there. He's 5-year. I'm not paying Sean Couturier, a 33-year-old Sean Couturier, for 5 years. So that's the kind of thing maybe we can find. Maybe we can find a defensive forward and trade one of these players who's on the trade block for our team. So Alex Tuch or Klingberg or somebody like that. So that's for next episode, though. So, guys, as always, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your support. Hopefully, by the time I record another Buffalo Sabres video, I'll have my new microphone. If not, you're going to continue to get this crappy audio. I apologize for that again. But, yeah, until we talk again, guys, I appreciate you watching. I appreciate your support. I'll talk to everybody soon. Bye-bye.